Decision 2019. Voters cast their ballots on November 5th, but still one more big decision to go. Who will be Boise's next mayor? For the first time ever, there will be a runoff for Boise mayor between incumbent Dave Beater and City Council President Lauren McGrane. Today, Ada County Clerk Phil McGrane on the significance of the runoff and how it will be carried out, plus how voter turnout ranked versus past elections. And for the first time in 16 years, Meridian will have a new mayor, someone very familiar with the inner workings of Meridian city government, Mayor Tammy DeVere's Chief of Staff, Robert Simison. Mayor-Elect Simison talks about his victory, his experience, and his vision for Meridian. Ahead on Viewpoint.
From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is Viewpoint.
And welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Doug Petcash. Many of you headed out to your polling places on November 5th to decide who will lead your cities and school districts for the next few years. Some of you will have to go back to vote again on a major race that has not yet been decided. That's the race for Boise mayor. For the first time ever, two candidates will face off in a runoff election for Boise mayor. That runoff will be on December 3rd. The candidates are Mayor Dave Beater and City Council President Lauren McGrane. McGrane got 46% of the vote on November 5th. Beater received 30%. It was a 7-candidate race. To win outright, a candidate needed 50% plus 1 for the vote. Mayor Beater has been in office for 16 years. He's running for a 5th term. Council President McGrane has been on Boise City Council for nearly 9 years. Now, the man in charge of organizing the December 3rd Boise mayor runoff election is Ada County Clerk Phil McGrane. Phil, thanks for coming in again today. I do appreciate it.
Happy to be here. Thanks, Doug.
Well, first of all, are you surprised at all that there is a runoff this year?
You know, we had talked about it before the election. I don't know that we're surprised given the number of candidates and how active the races are, and especially when we talked about, all the money that was going into this race, especially leading up. So we were bracing for a runoff. I don't know that we expected the results as they are, but we're ready to go and are heading into December 3rd.
And so, how significant is it that there's a runoff for the first time in Boise?
There's probably a couple of different ways to measure significance in terms of this runoff election. The fact that it's the first time that we're having a runoff for Boise mayor, that certainly has significance, especially to the community. The undertaking for us that it takes to put the runoff together is certainly significant as well. And so there's a lot of attention, especially in our office, going on to how does this work? What needs to get in place? And what do we do to make sure voters have the opportunity to weigh in once again?
So that was my next question, actually, is how will it work?
That's a great question because we're bringing about 4 to 5 months worth of work. That's usually what it takes us to gear up and get everything ready for an election. But instead, we have 30 days to get it done. And so we're actively working on it. Ballots are being printed as we speak. We're getting ready for our first mailing of absentee ballots that'll hit the mail early next week. Everything's got it, there's a really quick turnaround.
So you'll do absentee and early voting too?
We're going to do it all, yeah. So we'll have absentee voting. All those voters who requested an absentee ballot during the regular election will also get an absentee ballot for this election automatically. This is really an extension of the original election. Voters who want to get an absentee ballot still can. And we'll have 2 weeks of early voting right before the election day, just like we normally do, with one unique exception here, and that's Thanksgiving Day.
Sure. Offices are going to be closed for the holiday, absolutely. So do people go to their normal polling places too then, or is it going to be consolidated in some way?
Yeah, one of the things our office is really committed to is making voting really consistent and predictable for voters. That was one of the things the legislature spoke about. So we're going to use all the polling locations that we had before. We've already confirmed 80 out of the 88 polling locations. If there's any changes, we'll notify voters, but it looks like we should be able to have pretty much all the regular polling locations on Election Day.
How much does something like this cost? I mean, this is the first time you're doing it, or is that all being tallied?
It's not. It is the first time we're ever doing a runoff. It's not the first time we've run an election, so we do have some sense of the history. We've asked the city of Boise to plan on $100,000 in terms of the cost. It could cost a little bit more. We're going to work with them. We've been in touch with the city clerk's office to make sure they know all that's going into this election.
So is there like a contingency fund that something like this would come out of, or is it just, you got to pay for it because you have to do it?
That's an interesting question. It's one of those things that you want to budget for just in case, but when we look back at the last 16 years, we haven't had a runoff. So I know the city of Boise is trying to figure all of that out right now. Just because it hasn't happened, here we are now. And so this is unique too. Usually the county is the one who pays for all the expenses related to an election. but because this is a runoff election, the city is going to pick up the bill.
Okay. So just to be clear now, this is people who live within the city limits of Boise are the only ones who can vote, right? Not in unincorporated areas that kind of feel like they're part of the city, right?
That's a really good point, and it was one of the bigger challenges we experienced on Election Day, this past election.
A lot of people wondering if they could vote in the election.
We had a lot of people, very passionate people as well, wanting
Sure.
to vote in the mayor's race who didn't actually live in the city. So especially when you look at areas like the foothills, areas north of the city in Hidden Springs, or even south of the city, near Victory Road, those are places that they may have Boise as their mailing address, and that's what the Postal Service uses, but they don't in fact live within the city limits of Boise. Only those people who live within the city limits will be eligible to vote in the runoff.
One more question about the runoff is, what do you expect for voter turnout for the runoff?
That's one of the really interesting things is we're having to make some educated guesses about everything that goes into this runoff. We expect turnout will be a little bit lower than it was, especially given how high the turnout was on November 5th. What we've seen, and we read some studies from Fair Vote who's looked at this nationally, usually about a third less people show up for a runoff election. And so one of the things that will be unique about the runoff is the voting population may have a different complexion than it did on the November 5th election. And so that'll be one of the factors that the candidates will have to take into consideration as well.
Sure, a 16% difference between McGrane and Beater in this one, so we'll see how that percentage shapes up.
Exactly, it may be different
third.
people.
Yeah.
Someone who voted on Election Day may not vote in the runoff, but vice versa. Someone who didn't vote on Election Day may show up and vote in the runoff.
That's a good point, really good point. Well, okay, let's change gears now and look at the election overall. You mentioned that it was strong voter turnout. How, maybe more specifically, how would you quantify it and qualify it?
Yeah, it was impressive in terms of turnout throughout the valley. Some of the elections, this was a series of different ones, are about what we predicted. So for example, the Meridian Mayor's race, it was just under 30%. That was exactly kind of what we saw happening. We did not expect to see 40% turnout for the city of Boise. So it shows the mayor's race and the propositions really did bring people out. Really surprising to us was the activity in Star. Star and Eagle both had 42% in terms of overall turnout.
Why is that so surprising? Is it just because it's an off-year election?
Exactly. We look at historical trends and what usually drives voters out, especially often we'll see bonds that will drive people out or other things. Candidates are a huge source of that. I think what was really surprising is when you look at it on a precinct by precinct basis and you kind of see the hot spots, we had one precinct at 62% turnout. That's
wow.
right up there with a gubernatorial election or a presidential election.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that shows there was a lot of activity related to this election.
And new mayors were chosen in the cities too that had the highest voter turnout as well. I want to talk about overall voting in Ada County by also as we look at a map that,
Sure.
that you provided through your office, and we can bring that up on the screen right now, just to talk about what are we looking at in this map here, Phil?
So this are all of the precincts. Those little shapes are the precincts for the city of Boise.
Actually, that's
specifically.
Boise,
Yeah, that's Boise specifically. The darker orange areas or brown are where the highest turnout was. So you can see in the foothills area, kind of north and east end of Boise is where turnout was the highest. The blue precincts, especially the darkest blue, is where turnout was the lowest. And so you can kind of see a lot more attention. This isn't surprising with the city of Boise when you figure it's Dave Beater and Lauren McLean who are really fighting it out, that you're going to see a lot of activity in the north and northeast ends. And so you can kind of get a sense of where turnout was strongest from this map.
And now we can show actually the Ada County map overall. And this one, you have these large patches of blue, the dark blue.
Yeah, so
what's
this,
that?
Yeah, this map is interesting. In it is the same map we were just looking at before for the city of Boise, so you can see those hot spots. But you can see out in the Kuna area, that southern part of the county, turnout wasn't very active. We didn't have as competitive as races there. Similarly, in the Meridian area, which is on that left side of the county, turnout was good, but it just didn't compare to what it was in Star, Eagle, and Boise. I'll note that one little black precinct in the middle, that's one that just didn't have anything to vote on, surprisingly, this election. It's the one precinct we didn't use for the entire election.
So it fell outside of the city of Boise? And
it fell outside of a whole bunch of districts that were up for election.
Wow. One other note that was interesting about the way the votes trended was in the 88 precincts in Boise, Lauren McLean actually had the most votes in 80.
That's right.
Of those 88. Have you seen anything like that?
Of course we see it like that, but not necessarily when it's as competitive as it is. I'm sure this was a surprise to both campaigns, just to see how strong she was, not just in that overall percentage like you mentioned earlier, but really looking at how it lays out. And 80 out of 88 precincts is pretty impressive for any candidate in any given race.
All right, so you talked a little bit about it, but right now, what is the focus in your office to get ready in those 30 days before December 3rd?
This is a major undertaking. I always like to reference our office is the largest event planning operation in the state of Idaho. This is no different than putting on a wedding. We're just inviting, 200,000 of our closest friends. And so we have to get all the logistics in place to pull that off. So we're actively working on that right now, trying to make sure that the candidates have the information and the tools they need, making sure we're getting the ballots out to the voters, and that everything will be staged and ready for December 3rd.
And everything will be hyper-focused, of course, on Boise this time. But I know you're already looking ahead to 2020 as well, so you've got to get this and then right into the primary season.
Exactly. It's one of those things, someone asked me this morning, so what do you do the rest of the year, right? And this is a major undertaking, and exactly what you said. We've got a presidential year. I mean, you look at the Democratic debates that have been going on. People will begin filing for office to run for president here in the state of Idaho here shortly. And so that process is starting to begin right as we're heading into this runoff.
Phil, thanks again for just explaining everything so people understand what they need to do or what needs to happen on December 3rd, and also just giving us that perspective on the vote from this past Tuesday as well.
Well, thank you, Doug.
Appreciate you coming in 2 weeks in a row, too. It really helps. Well, have a great day. Well, while the people of Boise don't yet know who their mayor will be, the people of Meridian do. Coming up next, Mayor-Elect Robert Simison's vision for his city.
Physicians. We know extended hours, unpredictable schedules, huge amounts of debt to manage, very high burnout rates, high stakes, unbelievable amounts of pressure, unfathomable accountability, shifting and uncertain bureaucracy. So, to the thousands of Idaho's physicians, we say, thank you.
Thank you, doctors.
Thank you, doctors.
Thank you, doctors. Thank you, doctors.
Thank you to our physicians and surgeons.
Thank you, doctors.
Thank you, doctors.
Thank you, doctors.
Thank you, doctors.
Anyone can fall victim to moving fraud. Know your rights and responsibilities.
There was never really a valid contract.
Movers must always give written estimates.
I was bound to an estimate, but it was after the fact.
Be sure that any document is complete before signing it, and that it includes information to determine the final charges.
It was a version that I had not seen before.
Visit protectyourmove.gov to download a free moving fraud prevention guide. Search for registered movers and view their complaint histories. Move with confidence.
Look into my eyes, you will see what you mean to me. Don't tell me it's not worth trying for. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you.
And welcome back to Viewpoint. I'm Doug Petcash. For the last 16 years, the city of Meridian has been led by the same person, Mayor Tammy DeVeard. Early this year, she announced she would be retiring from the post at the end of this term and not running for re-election. She's led the city through a period of rapid growth in the number of people, homes, businesses, and jobs. Of course, all of that comes with challenges too, like the most noticeable one, traffic. Mayor DeVeard immediately threw her support behind her chief of staff for the last 12 years, Robert Simison, to take her place. He won the election with 45% of the vote in a 5-person race. Meridian does not have a provision like Boise to have a runoff election if no candidate gets more than 50%. Well, not long after the election, I talked with Mayor-Elect Simison about his victory, his experience in city government, and his vision for Meridian. Well, Mayor-Elect, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, now that you've had a little bit of time for your victory to sink in, what are your thoughts as you mentally prepare to take over this role?
Well, I know I've got some big shoes to fill, following in Mayor Tammy's footsteps, even though she's been a great learner, a great person to learn from for the last 12 years. I know the community has seen her and they've loved her, and I'm trying to step into that role, and I know that's going to be a challenge, but it's one that I've prepared for and excited to try to take on.
Why did you want to be mayor in the first place?
It was never about a wanting to be mayor. This was really something where your boss sees something in you and they say, this is something I think that you would be really good at. You've got the right temperament, the right approach. I believed in the vision for it. And so when Mayor Tammy really brought that up and I started thinking about it, I said I was looking for a new challenge in my life, professionally and personally, and I love serving the community. So I said, I can do this. I'm not afraid I'm not afraid to get out there and talk to the voters, to run a campaign. And I said, I'm happy to do this. And if the community wants us to continue moving forward the way we had been under Mayor Tammy's leadership, I want to continue to bring that to the community.
Well, you are still obviously her chief of staff until her term expires, and
right.
then you step in next year. But what do you do as chief of staff?
Well, I really am there to help implement the mayor's desires from that standpoint. I have direct supervision over people in the mayor's office and the activities and the programs that we do, which is really focused on community outreach, constituent services, but also I'm part of the senior leadership team for the city. So I work hand in hand, side by side with our current directors, many of our city council, on what we do long-term city projects. Some of the things I'm directly overseeing on a day-to-day basis is the overall communications for the city, our strategic planning process and the efforts that are being put into that. And then there's always one-off projects that I'm working on, and I do what the mayor needs to be done or show up where she's not able to go.
It really sounds like you have, from that position, you're right in the middle of everything, so you have a good idea of how the government works.
Yes, I'm working with all departments regularly and to have an understanding and being part of what they're doing.
So what are your priorities?
Well, I think my priority is to ensure that Meridian remains a safe community built around families. That's the theme of my campaign. But kind of what does that mean? From my perspective. Well, being built around families means having family wage jobs. Let's make sure we have more jobs in Meridian. Because one of the things we heard from being out on the campaign trail was, people are concerned about growth, but what they're really concerned about is traffic. So how do we address traffic? Well, one of the best ways we can do that is disrupt the traffic patterns. We get more jobs into Meridian, we can transform the way people are driving and commuting from that standpoint.
So everybody's not trying to funnel down to the interstate and get to Boise.
Correct, and that's been a real focus that we've had in the city over the last several years and probably decade. But those are the types of things we want to do. It's about how we put pathways into our communities so that people can get from point A to point B easier. It's about how we...
You're talking about non-motor vehicle pathways.
Non-motor vehicle pathways, correct. But along roads, it's having a detached sidewalk as compared to an on-road bike lane from that standpoint. Because that's how, in being built around families, that's what people want. It's about the parks we put in to make sure they have amenities for families of all ages, seniors to kids. But parks are an important part of our identity, and we need to stay focused on those things. So that's really what we're talking about. And safety. People want the safety, and how do they feel more safe? It's seeing police officers in their subdivision. It's not just having our officers go from call to call to call. It's seeing them drive through, knowing that there's a presence. And not only do the numbers prove that we're a safe community, but we want people to feel safe, and seeing those officers, having a quick response time from our fire department. That's what being a safe community built around families means to me.
Growth is, of course, a challenge. Do you think Meridian right now is growing too fast?
I don't know that we're growing too fast. I think that we just have to grow smarter in places where we're prepared to offer the services. And, so for example, downtown. Downtown is a great place where growth is occurring and should occur. We have the services in those areas. The road network is generally built up in those components. You're not looking at adding in a new fire station to serve growth in those areas. So where we grow, I think, is the most important part, more than how quickly we are growing from that perspective. Everyone complains about the roads when it comes to growth, and that's the most expensive part of it. They always follow growth. So the more we can direct growth to where we have services or where ACHD plans to build roads in our community, the better we are. But I think that as a city, we've done a great job in the services that we provide to our citizens: police, fire, parks, water, sewer, and community development. I think that we have kept up with growth very well from that standpoint, but we need to do a better job of working with ACHD and the school districts, because that's where the growth really is felt by many people, whether it's concern over overcrowded classrooms or the roads that don't have sidewalks, so it's not safe for people to get from point A to point B.
Speaking of growth, City Council recently approved a $13 million urban renewal project in downtown. A developer, Galena Opportunity Fund, is proposing to build a new community center and a public auditorium, along with a mixed-use space that may even include a charter school. How do you feel about that project and that type of project in the downtown core area?
I think it's great for our downtown. You know, I have not been part of those conversations to this point in time. I was actually on vacation while they were deliberating that point. But I think for our downtown, it's a great opportunity. You're taking really a lot of property that is currently not on the tax rolls. You know, it's a park, it's a community center, it's a parking lot that's owned by the Meridian Development Corporation, and then it's also property that's owned by the Union Pacific Railroad, or has been for years. And we're going to actually put that into higher and better uses. We're going to bring people into our downtown. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done related to that. You know, I think it was more of an approval and concept, but there's several additional steps that need to take place. And I'm a fan and believer in our downtown. I'm a fan and believer in this project. You know, I'll have to look at the details as things move forward and see what that means, but generally it'll be good for Meridian.
The downtown core has been a focus, you know, of turning it into a more attractive place for people to come. Of course, there's the Village and there are other shopping centers. How important is it, do you think, to have that downtown core, that personality, if you will, for Meridian?
Well, downtown is the heart of our community. It always will be. You know, that's why the city, I call them forefathers, but 20 years ago they made a decision to put City Hall in downtown. They recognize that we need to stay committed and focused on that. We invested heavily with ACHD to put in the split corridor so we could keep downtown a walking area. They've tried to slow down traffic on Main Street with the planters. That's a traffic calming measure from that standpoint, so we can make downtown walkable. It's a huge part of our identity. I know our community really likes that small town focus. You know, they're not looking to duplicate what Boise has in terms of a downtown. That's not our vision. You know, it is one of those things where we need to have livability, you know, that work, live, play, where you're gonna have restaurants on that first floor, businesses on the second and third, and places for people to live, third, fourth, fifth stories. That's what Meridian downtown will look like, and that will allow more things that people want to have, that nightlife aspect, whatever that is, whether that's performing arts, whether those are restaurants, whether that's live music. That's what we want to see in our downtown.
And finally, in the few seconds we have left, what will be your focus from now until when you take over and maybe the first few weeks that you're in office?
Well, I need to sit down and develop my 30, 60, 90-day plan. What do I want to accomplish during that time frame? So that's going to be my focus for the next 2 months. What does that look like? The things that I know that we're going to have to be focused on from the get-go. The city's going to be finishing up its comprehensive plan. Council will likely be voting on that here before too long. We have some next steps that we're going to be focused on related to that. There's also, I need to sit down with, they'll have new community partners that we'll need to be sitting down with. So I'll be meeting with people in the community that are either new or I haven't connected with in a while. We also have other things that we need to be focused on in terms of talking to people about getting people from point A to point B. So I want to be looking at where those priority connections that we can work on, from sidewalks and pathways and even roads, so we can start having those conversations right away.
We certainly have the head start with how many people you already know
Correct.
within the city government and how things work. So
Yeah.
I just want to say congratulations
Thank you.
and best wishes on your mayorship.
Appreciate it
if
very
that's
much,
the
Doug.
proper word.
All right, thank you.
And on the personal side, according to his campaign website, Simison was born and raised in Pocatello. He's been active in the Meridian Chamber of Commerce and volunteered as a coach for youth soccer and baseball leagues. Robert, his wife Jenny, and their 3 kids live in South Meridian and enjoy skiing together every winter. I'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
It's the final days of Furniture Row's Veterans Day sale, so get ready because everything is on sale. You'll find sofas, dining sets, bedrooms, and mattresses at some of our lowest prices ever. Plus, decorating your entire home just got easier with 4 years no-interest financing. And to salute our armed forces, all veterans and active duty military get extra savings and free local delivery. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. The Veterans Day sale at Furniture Row. Hurry, sale ends soon.
It's our Black Friday window and door savings event at Dream Style Windows and Doors featuring Pella with our largest dollar savings of the year. Save $300 per window and $800 per patio door. Plus 2 years no payments and no interest. Hurry, our largest dollar savings of the year end on Black Friday, November 29th. There are limited appointments available for this exclusive promotion and you must book yours by November 29th. We offer a wide range of exceptional quality Pella windows with different price options and features. We're here to find the right window for your home. Hurry, call now and take advantage of our largest dollar savings of the year. It's our Black Friday window and door savings event at Dream Style Windows and Doors featuring Pella. Save $300 per window and $800 per patio door. Plus 2 years no payments and no interest. This offer ends on Black Friday and you must book your in-home consultation by November 29th. Call or visit dreamstylewindows.com.
I expected it to be a lot easier.
I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too, right?
I started to open up.
And I saw that I wasn't alone.
We are not alone. Other veterans have transitioned from the military and overcome mental health challenges. Visit maketheconnection.net.
First Alert Weather with meteorologist Rick Lance at 10.
Well, to check out all of our political reporting leading up to the election and then following up on the winners and losers and big money levies and bond issues, you can go to our website, ktvb.com. We also have the stories on our mobile news app. And of course, keep it here on Channel 7 for coverage leading up to the big Boise mayoral runoff coming up on December 3rd. Well, that is all of our time for this week's Viewpoint. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Doug Petcash. I'll see you tomorrow on today's morning news and then right back here next Sunday morning for another Viewpoint.